Hello, everybody. Spider here, TheFightCardPodcast, coming to you once again. We are in the studio, as always, being joined by Aaron Suarez. Aaron, man, we got some guests today. If you want to go ahead and introduce them?
Yeah, man, I got two guys from the South Side, from the Dirty South. I got Brandon Gutierrez, and I also have Jose Cabral, man. So again, Brandon's the I'm sorry, not the UFC fighter, the MMA fighter. He's the number 5 flyweight in Texas, and Jose, man, he's one of the coaches, right? So for Southside. So again, man, great to guys have you guys in here, man. So how you doing?
Thank you for having us.
No problem, man. No problem, man. I'm over there on Instagram just doing work. So Brandon, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I mean, you're 125 pounds. Fight class.
Yes, flyweight division, 125 pounds. Been training 3 years now.
Okay.
I've been fighting 2 years.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so I love it.
Yeah, did you decide to hey, I'm gonna train for a whole year and then I'll decide to fight, or was it like?
So originally when I first started, it was just to obviously get in shape. And at that time I was in law enforcement. Okay. So yeah. I was trying to use it as a tool to be able to use for my line of work. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, what ended up happening was, I just did straight jiu-jitsu at first, just gi. That's all I did. And then that competitiveness started kind of coming out, and next thing you know, I started going to fight team training and obviously get my ass whooped, because I couldn't keep up with the guys at that time. At that time, I had no skill whatsoever. But what I did have was just hard work and determination. I didn't quit. So coach asked me one day, Ernest was like, "Hey, you looking to fight?" And I was like, "Shoot,
maybe.
Give me some time, man. Shoot." Yeah. And I did a couple of jiu-jitsu tournaments, and then from there on out, got a fight in the cage, and so that's history.
So when you first came in, man, were you the white belt trying to guillotine everybody? Man, you can tell me, Jose.
Well, I was that white belt that was just trying to survive, man. That's what I was trying to do. You know what I mean?
Now, one of the things, man, I wanted to bring up. So you're still an amateur, right? Which is good experience. You're fighting some good opponents. But at 125 pounds, man, something that we always talk about was they have a lot of explosiveness, they have a lot of quickness and everything like that, but you're knocking guys out. How's that feel, man? Because that usually doesn't happen at 125 pounds a lot. And you're doing it consistently, man. A lot of first round finishes.
It's funny because I never knew I had that power, I guess, developed in me this whole time. Of course, I don't know. It's weird because I feel like I don't hit hard. But then people get flatlined.
Yeah,
I've been hit by him.
You've been hit by him. So, yeah, I actually, Jose's in the bag he hits hard, man. He's lying.
But that's obviously a great trait to have. But I'm trying to be as versatile as I can. Okay. Ultimately, a lot of people end up just relying on one thing. Mm-hmm. Just carrying power. I just want to be very well rounded, and at our gym, we have. A lot of different, people that bring different things to the table to help you get better.
Yeah, different aspects.
So it's not just one trick pony. Everybody has something else to bring, and I'm just trying to feed off of that. But to answer your question, it feels great. Yes.
Yeah, it feels great, man. Yeah, dude. So I got your coach here, right? So. He also has the fastest knockout in Texas, right? Even if it's unofficial, we're saying it's. And it happened to actually be on the guest that I had this past week, Dimitri. So seeing his power and seeing how he comes out, and then do you compare the two, or do you hey man, mine was better, or who's hitting harder now?
Well, it's not a contest, but me and Brandon spar multiple times a week probably. Yeah. So and I'm a little bigger than him, but man, when he connects on me, I'm just I feel that. I was if he was just a little bit bigger, I was I might be someone's got to drive me home that day.
Well, I love it though because he's sparring with him because obviously he's bigger and stronger, but the dude hits like a truck. Yeah. So I get, I'm gonna be honest, I'll get rocked sometimes, but I'm still fighting, pushing forward, but it kind of helps me with my mindset, knowing that, man, this guy in this cage ain't 155 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I can handle this guy, if I can stay up with him, I can stay up with my opponent, Yeah.
Well, and that's something that we talked about yesterday, even on the show yesterday was, they had a tournament, right, we have the fighters with the 125, 135. And I've always talked to, as far as them being the tougher guys in the gym, because they're consistently working with 55ers and 70s and, even when they're doing the rounds with, the heavyweights or whatever. So I'm like, they're getting ragdolled all through practice. And then if they ever get another 125er in the gym, it's just like, all right, cool. Like, I get to eat now. I get to throw some guys around.
I mean, because I am the smallest guy at our gym. I mean, ultimately. So it's tough. Yeah, it is tough. But if you can use it to your advantage, it'll be very beneficial for your fight career. Ultimately, yeah.
And then, do you have video of the fastest knockouts you got somewhere? Maybe.
Yeah, it's in YouTube somewhere.
Somewhere in YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. We'll have to look at that, man. I'm gonna put them side by side and see what they look like together. kind of go from there, man. That'd be pretty bad. And then, so you used to also be in a boy band.
Shoot, if I wouldn't be here right now, man. I'd be rich and famous, man.
Yeah, they said they kicked you out or something for Timberlake or something.
Right, I was in K-pop. Right,
K-pop. Yeah. There we go. No, but you did, going through your Facebook and everything like that, man. I mean, it seems like you've done everything, right? Kind of, you were in a band. You're boxing now, or you used to be a deputy sheriff. Like you're doing everything. So talk a little bit about the music, man. Talk a little bit about
I've always loved metal music.
Okay.
Since I was a kid, and I always used metal music as a way to channel myself, like with my issues I had at the time, and just used it as a facade, I guess, to help me get better and feel better, right?
Yeah.
And then once I got into like the harder stuff, I started listening to like Slipknot, and I started listening to, just like more hardcore music, heavier music. I would go to shows and I would see the kids, how they would, like everybody was just beating each other up in that mosh pit.
Yeah.
But it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Like everybody was happy going home and you would feel better, just like you do in the gym.
Yeah.
Right?
Get that endorphin.
But, once it came down to actually writing my own stuff, I've always been a writer. I've always liked writing. My grammar and spelling sucks, but I always had something to say, and I was always thinking of things, and I guess like I had carried a creative trait that my family members didn't have. Yeah. I wasn't like the brains, I wasn't the smartest guy, but I guess my ADD and my ADHD helped
kind of
create a lot of ideas, and I would manifest it as a kid, and I would look at the guys on stage at that time that were the heavy hitters of the local scene, and I would be like, damn, you know what? One of these days I'm gonna be on that stage, and I'm gonna do what they do, but I'm gonna do it better than them.
Yeah.
Even though I had confidence issues at that time, I believed in it.
Yeah.
And so in high school, I met a couple of guys. We started a band, and we ended up becoming one of the heavy hitters in the scene, man.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while, and of course, once I was 19, we even done a couple of tours and stuff, which was cool.
Nice. Yeah.
We got to travel. We got to play with one of our favorite bands growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool, a great experience. But you get older and you're like, damn, I need a real job now. You know what I'm saying?
So you turned to fighting.
Well, yeah, right.
From one homeless
is great.
Yeah.
Dude, fighting and being in the band is the same shit, man. There's no money in there.
There's no money.
Right.
They need a girlfriend, so they got a place to live.
Yeah, man. So I did music for a while, and then the whole law enforcement gig, that kind of just came out of nowhere, man. I was working security at North Star Mall at that time before I became a deputy, and I would work with cops, and just kind of hearing like their stories of what they did, it intrigued me.
Yeah.
And then of course, I've always wanted to do something to bring back to my community. Yeah. Because I did grow up on the south side and in a rough area, and I could have went the other way.
Yeah.
Right?
Easily, right?
Easy. Like I was hanging out with those guys, doing selling dope, doing all that shit, gangbanging, all that. I could have went that direction, but I kind of saw like how it would affect, like for example, my mom. Yeah. I'll put her in positions at times that I do regret now. Yeah. My father was gone away in prison at the time, and I was getting in trouble, and just seeing how I would stress her out and make her cry. Like I didn't like that,
Yeah.
So I told myself, you know what? I want to do something to help bring back to my community and become a better person, and help these kids that where I was at that time that are lost, and maybe I could be a good influence.
Yeah. So I mean, do you do anything as far as like for the community? I mean, I know you have a little platform now, with fighting and stuff like that. Is there anything that you do to help them out on the side, or is there?
I'm that guy that reaches out, to anyone that needs assistance. I try to bring as many people as I can to the gym.
Okay, yeah.
And even though if they don't like fighting, I tell them, hey, look, you don't have to become a fighter. You could just train. But I'm telling you, this is going to help you mentally.
Yeah.
It's going to help you stay focused. It's going to help you stay out of trouble, And I would tell dudes like that all the time, when I was working at the jail, hey, look, you know what? You could be something.
Yeah.
Because I would see them fight, obviously, each other and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, you guys can be something.
Yeah.
But if you stay focused and you have the positive guidance to put you where you need to be, you know what, you'll change your life for the better. You got kids, you talk about your kids all day. You want them to have a better life. This is a way to do it, man. Instead of selling dope. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I try to do from fighting, man.
Definitely, man. Have you thought about writing a testimony up for being at the gym or even just on your personal page?
What's funny, man? The other day somebody told me I should write a book.
Why not? What?
And that's it. That's intriguing, man. That's probably something that will happen in the near future, man.
Good, man.
Like I said, I've always been that type of guy that when I set my mind to something, man, I go get it, bro. Because shit doesn't fall in your lap, and I've always just been that type. When I see something, I want to go get it. I've just been a go-getter my whole life, man.
Yeah. Now, is that true, Jose? Has he been a go-getter?
Yeah, he's pretty determined, man. I mean, there's been times where I'm like, hey, let's go out. And he's like, no, I'm staying home. I was like, come on, man.
Come on, dude. Let me put on the cheetah shirt. We're going to Chili's. We're going to get kicked out of Chili's tonight, man.
But, yeah, brother, I would like to, when I retire from this shit, I want to, have my own, facility and help kids stay off the streets and, offer, that type of service.
Cool, man. Well, see, this is the part where I plug in the fight socks, right? The ones that I'm wearing right now. So that's, that's a
nice
thing, right? So that's something that, Spider does, man. He works with a couple of the organizations where they help feed homeless people.
Awesome.
So, giving out, some of the things that they need. A lot of times they were asking for socks. So, hey, why not use MMA to raise the awareness? So, if you guys are listening, man, come in, get some fight socks from us.
Yeah, most definitely.
So then I want to go back and I want to talk about your boxing bloodline, man. You talked about like everybody boxing your family,
right?
Your grandma, your auntie, your nephew, everybody, daddies. Mm-hmm. So walk me through that, man. How?
So the history is in Mexico when everybody transitioned from Spain to Mexico. It was my grandfather and his brothers. They all fought. And they were really good, and that Mexican style, man, it was different. From what I was told, they fought in a little tiny ring.
It probably no bigger than this.
Yeah, probably no bigger than this, and they just stood toe to toe.
Yeah,
and that was that. And that's just like, if you think about it, it's like damn, all that CTE, right?
Man. Well, see, so like I'd be in my room. I had my exercise bike, getting ready for fights, and I'm watching Channel 8 at the time. The Spanish station, the boxers. Yeah. As they're going, I put it on mute because I don't speak Spanish. Sorry, guys. But I would listen to it, or not listen to it. I just watch it, and I'm just cycling, just kind of getting some motivation. Like, yeah, boxing. It's pretty cool, man. Pretty fun. And the action pack that they have in it, and these guys are 140 pounds, 130 pounds, and they're just going at it. So
right, man.
Yeah.
So they were real known over there, and then once everybody transitioned to the United States here in San Antonio, what ended up happening was my dad and his brother, they boxed at a young age. Yeah. And my dad, they called him the Hammer.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was left-handed just like me. I think I got my power from him.
Yeah.
Nice. He was knocking fools out too. In his time, and well, he got when he turned 15, he was gonna go pro, but then he had kids, and then at that time, it was different. He couldn't fight anymore. He had to work, full time to provide for the family, right?
Yeah, which happens a lot to fighters.
Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Ricky, his brother. Was the one that made it real far in the 80s. He was ranked number 7 in the world, I think, and his weight class, I think he was like 134 pounds, or they have different weight classes in boxing, but
boxing has like 71 divisions.
Yeah,
something like that.
But he is the actual original El Cañonero, where my ring name is. That he's the original El Cañonero.
Yeah.
When I started fighting, I wrote him because he's in prison. unfortunately, I wrote him and I asked him, hey, can I use your name in a positive way to keep, the memory alive? I'm not boxing, I'm doing MMA, but can I use it? And he said, yeah, man, of course. He gave me his blessing, and so fighting was just always just genetically built into me, you know.
Well, so how was that though? The emotion behind that. I mean, to ask your uncle that's in prison, is he gonna get out soon or? Oh man, I don't want to talk bad about
From the looks of it, I mean, it's up in the air right now, but he's been gone a long time.
He's been gone.
Yeah.
So I mean, but for him to know that his nephew is kind of taking on the name and the mantle of it, how does that feel for you? How does that redemption?
He's happy, but at the same time, he's concerned because MMA rights generally kind of new to like the older cats.
Oh yeah.
So when they see it, they're like, oh shit, that's barbaric, man. Like, he goes, he tells me this. He's like, mijo. He's like, just make sure you got good cardio because I want you to move. He's like, and he gets sad. He's like, I really wish I was there with you because I would help show you how to have a solid defense. Because so my dad was a power puncher. Ricky was mostly speed and finesse.
Okay. So
in my mind, I'm like, how do I combine that?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm adapting to it, but just trying to just get a little more solid on the technique. But he's like, I wish I was there, man, because I can show you how to be very well defensive and how to be very smart. He's like, I don't want you to have all this brain damage, and it makes sense.
Definitely, man.
It is sad. I wish he was here because he lived and breathed it. He breathed it, for a very long time. Yeah. And nice.
And I could imagine, man. I mean, you having maybe a fight, you have, your uncle and your dad kind of walking you out, man. That'd be nice. That'd be pretty cool,
So my dad, he has passed.
Okay.
He passed away in 2014.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And that's another thing I think about. I get emotional about. It's like, damn, if my dad was here, because when I was younger, man, I just had a lot of issues that nobody thought I was gonna do anything with my life. And I wish he was here to see what I am doing now. And I'm pretty sure he would have been proud. And like you said, had my dad and my uncle like teamed up. Yeah, I mean, it would have been great.
It'd have been cool, man. And so then that's actually probably one of the things that I do want to hit on, man. With kids and anybody that's listening out there, man. You can turn your life around. It takes small adjustments every day, right, to get better. But I've heard that story, I don't know, hundreds of times. The guys are like, man, I was shy, I was introverted, I didn't talk to nobody, and now through jiu-jitsu, through kickboxing, through just training in general, I'm able to be confident. I'm able to kind of, hey, this is what I'm doing now. Training, man, can really help develop your life all the way around. So yeah, man,
most definitely.
If anybody's out there, man, listening, hey, go train somewhere. Start today.
Yes. Stop saying, oh, I'll do it next week. Oh, I gotta get in shape first, bro. Just jump in there, man.
Just jump in there, man. Just get it going. Man.
That's the biggest one with people that are gonna train MMA. They're like, let me get in shape first, then
there's no such thing as getting in MMA shape. No, because you gotta
have to train it to get in fight shape.
I had an old teammate of mine, man, Tim, and marathon runner, triathlete, all kinds of stuff. He was gassing out like the first couple of rounds, and I mean now he's a black belt. He's like number 1 in the world in Masters or whatever. But he's over at Rodrigo's. But
awesome.
When I first met him, man, he's like, oh man, I can do this. No problem, man. But he sounds like a damn lawnmower trying to catch his breath. But I like that, man. Transitioning over to, you said you were a deputy sheriff, man. How was that? Why'd you leave? How was the whole process, man?
So to answer your question on why I left, I was there for 4 years. I worked for the department for 4 years, and towards the end of me leaving man, they're working us like dogs, man. Yeah. And it's still going on to this day. I'm talking about 70 hours a week, man. You're not seeing your family. You're not seeing, and then that time I was juggling the gym and, my line of work, right? Yeah. Which is not good to do. Can't have your foot halfway in, halfway out. That's how you get hurt.
That's how you get hurt,
yeah, And, well, when I started training, 3 years ago, my total mindset changed. I wanted to be, the best detective, homicide, out there at that time. Yeah. But once I started seeing how I started feeling physically and mentally through training, my passion changed, and I was like, dude, this is the shit I want to do the rest of my life, man. Yeah. You know, whether it's fighting, coaching, I don't know, whatever it is, I want to be a part of this because I love it. It's beautiful to me, you know. And then I started to realize when the pandemic kicked off at first, I'm just a number, you know, to the department. I'm just a number. They don't really give a shit, man. At the time, I signed up because it was a rewarding career. I wanted, like I told you, I wanted to give back to my community. Yeah. But unfortunately, the administration I was working for didn't care about me as an employee, as their officer. And society has changed. People hate cops, man. It's just very dangerous now to even be a cop. You know, you walk around with a badge, you know, minding your own business. Somebody might just shoot at you just because. Yeah. You know, because of what they see on TV or on the internet. It's just. So I was like, you know what, man? I told myself this isn't for me anymore. I thought it was, you know, but it's not for me anymore, and I'd rather just focus on myself and, you know, work for myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I ultimately transitioned out of the department.
Yeah, man. No, I mean that's got to be really rough, man. I mean, yeah, you're working 70 hours a week. I mean, you're trying to split your time. You're getting training. So the stress of being a cop, being a sheriff, a deputy sheriff, and then having to go to the gym and then get beat up by Jose and company, like that's gotta suck. Yes, you know, constantly. And so, but then I also gotta congratulate you, man, on your mental toughness, man, when it comes to all that stuff, man. Because a lot of people, they have desk jobs and they're like, nah, I don't feel like training today. You know, but you know, Jose, I'm sure you've seen it all the time, man. I mean,
that was like one of the first things where I noticed about Brandon. I was like, you worked how many hours in your training today? I was like, I'm the one that has a desk job, and sometimes I'm like, man, I really don't feel like doing this. I was like, you know, I've been sitting here all day for, you know, only 8 hours, 2 breaks and a lunch.
Let me get my coffee.
I was like, let me think if I really want to go show up to practice today. But yeah, it tripped me out. He was like, I just woke up at what? I don't know. Got out of work at.
So I would work at the time. I work at 11. I was overnight, so I would go in at 11 right after practice. I would practice, go home, shower or eat, shower, whatever. Not clock in, but check in at like 10:45. You know, and then I wouldn't get out till probably sometimes like 3:00 p.m. the next day. And then I had to go train still.
You sleep for 20 minutes on the way home.
Right. I mean, dude, I was zombied out at that time, bro. I don't know how I did it, man. But I did it.
Yeah, I know, and that's a big thing, man. It's a big kudos to you, man, on keeping up with the training and just showing up sometimes, man. A lot of times, you know, guys are just like, man, I'm just gonna kind of go through the motion. Well, shit, sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes is just to kind of work on that discipline and that habit, man. Now I want to kind of start transitioning into your last fight with Peak Fighting. How was that, man? Because y'all went to, was it Arkansas?
Yeah, it was Arkansas, Texarkana.
Texarkana, same. You cross over one line, you'll be fine. How was that as a trip, man? Because you had how many teammates on that card with you? Was it 4?
There was 4 fights.
Yeah, 4 fights.
Yeah.
Okay, so
one was a smoker.
Okay,
it was he's a teen, so it was a smoker. Okay. And then me and another coach went, and then we cornered 3 other people.
Okay,
so 4 fights total.
So and then were you the main fight, or
I was actually the first fight for the team.
Okay.
I think it was like the 5th fight that day, something like that.
Okay, man. Yeah. So how was that, man? I mean, it was the first time fighting at a.
There was a lot of things going on, man. Like it was a fight coming off of a loss.
Okay.
You know, so you lose, and then shit kind of like gets in your head. But me, I'm like, fuck this, man. I'm like, the scariest part is not knowing what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what's gonna happen in there, but I know I'm prepared. I prepared a long time for this fight.
Yeah.
So I was ready, man.
Yeah.
Like I was just in the back. I was just mentally like locked and loaded, and I knew that this was a great opportunity. I'm in another area. Mm-hmm. No one knows who the fuck I am. I'm in this guy's backyard. Yeah. And
it's a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was telling myself this whole time, like, hey man, you know what? I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna do my thing. Whatever happens, I'm gonna come out, well, because I prepared. I'm prepared for this. So, it was, and then of course it was just like Coach Cabral and John, our new coach, being in my corner. It's the first time of them being in my corner. So it was like just a lot of things going on.
Just a lot of new things,
right? A lot of new things.
Because I mean, you have a relationship with Jose. I mean, obviously, but was this the first fight you cornered, right? You said?
Yeah, it was the first time I ever watched him fight, and really cornering guys from the gym. Usually, Coach Ernest is the main coach at our gym. He usually corners him. So I mean, coming from a person who used to fight too, and I always had my coach my corner. I'm sure that was an adjustment for him,
Yeah, it was a big adjustment. But I was prepared. I was prepared from Coach Ernest, what he prepared me for.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had the confidence to know what I had to do to win.
Yeah.
And as soon as, we went in there, I was calm, cool, and collect, man. I honestly, that's what I love about being amateur, because it's experience.
Mm-hmm.
And, this was my fourth fight. So it kind of felt just like the nerves weren't as bad as when I walked out. I felt great.
Yeah.
I felt good. I was focused. In the back, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared shitless. You know what I'm saying? That's a different story being in the back. Yeah, but, as soon as we went in there, man, and the cage closed, I was just, I already knew what I had to do.
Yeah. No, but, so being in the back, man, I mean, it's brand new. You're in a different city. You're in a, you have your guys with you. Walk me through that emotion, right before you're getting out. I mean, I know you said, hey, man, I was did you throw up? Did you, were you panicking? Were you
surprisingly, no. I didn't throw up. Of course, I was a little jittery, but as soon as they called me out, I took my little deep breath, and you know what? Hey, it's game time.
Yeah.
It's game time, and as soon as I walk out, I got that bright ass freaking camera, light shining in my face, man. Yeah. And I'm like, shit, dude. I'm on my shit right now. You're fucking kind of fucking me up, man.
I'm trying to be.
You know what I'm saying? So, but the whole time, man, as soon as I'm walking to the cage, in my mind, I'm like, hey, man, this is my place. This is what I'm meant to do. I'm prepared. I'm ready. And as soon as I gave my coaches a hug, I say my quick prayer. I tell God, please, be in there with me. And I call out for my dad. I'm like, hey, Dad, you know what? I know you're watching. I just ask that you're there by my side, or you're there in the cage with me. Yeah. And then as soon as I walked in, after I said my little prayer, shit, I was ready to get my hands on this guy.
So, and you talked about manifest and stuff, man. How do you feel? You'll probably remember, but Diego Sanchez, when he would come out and he's just screaming, yes, yeah, I mean, Diego's a little, probably CTE maybe, but the last one, the most recent one was Rose Namajunas.
I'm the best.
I'm the best, right? Yeah. So what do you think about that, man? How do you feel about that? Is it just even more confirmation that
if you understand it,
if
you understand it properly, it is beneficial, because the way I looked at it for my personal fight personally was, hey, you know what? You already won. You already won. You're already enjoying yourself with a couple of beers and some food. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about this is what I'm going to do in the cage when I'm in there. This is what I'm going to do. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Because I already trained. I was already prepared. So my manifestation was I already won, and I'm enjoying myself with my team. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to enjoy myself when I go back home. Yeah. I'm not going to go home sad and shit like that. I'm going to go home happy.
Whatever that.
So that was my manifestation. Mm-hmm. The night before the fight, when I was in my hotel room asleep or going to sleep at night, I already won. I already won.
Putting all that positive energy.
Yeah, man. I believe in energy. I don't know about you guys, but I do believe in having that energy, because that shit does carry off with you, and it carries off to who's around you. Yeah. So thank God I had these guys with me, because we all had that, energy going together. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And so I already knew I was gonna win, man. Yeah. Because I manifested it.
You're already speaking it, man.
Yeah.
And then so Jose, you're in the corner first time with this fighter, right? Yeah. And he's doing his thing. How crazy were you in the corner?
Oh, I was hyped up, man. Yeah, I was hyped up. As soon as Brandon tagged him, I think he hit him, I don't know, the first 20, 30 seconds. He tagged him left and kind of stumbled him. I was like, oh, we got this. I was like, we got this. I was like, this is a win.
This is a win, yeah. So I know, even when I would coach in the corners when I first started, me and Ernest, we're just yelling. We're probably cussing at the other fighter as well. So any opponents we had, hey, my fault, right? It was just the alcohol. So were you like that too? Were you just yelling at him, or were you just kind of calm? It seemed like or he felt really calm and collected. While he was fighting, were you the same on the outside?
During his fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to keep it professional, you know what I mean? Just because, everyone that has fought in here, you hardly ever hear your corner. Only sometimes.
See,
that's why you hear the crowd.
See, that's why we were yelling.
So it's I try to yell as, commands as best I can, or as loud as I can so you can hear it. Yeah. But, when you're in there, it's just you drown everything out.
Yeah. No.
And to go back to being a deputy, I feel that being in that career really helped like shape my mindset for fighting, man.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's a chaotic environment, and the thing is, you gotta know how to react.
Yeah.
You got people yelling at you. You got your coach yelling at you. You got cameras, lights. You got this fool fighting you, like, you know, trying to kill you. It's a lot to deal with, man. You know, when I was a cop, you got someone literally trying to kill you.
Yeah.
You know, you got to fight for your life. At the same time, you know, it's just, you got to get your radio, you got to call for backup, whatever. There's a lot of stuff going on, man.
Yeah.
And we're trained for that, you know, and honestly, being in the cage, I'm able to channel out the crowd.
Yeah.
And I can hear them. And I hear his people, his coaches, and I'm able to understand what's going on between me and my opponent.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird, man. Honestly, it's great.
Anytime you can keep yourself calm in a chaotic situation.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to explain.
Kind of slow motion a little bit.
Yes, it's kind of weird to explain, man. But since my first fight, it's how it's been. I'm able to hear, you know, my coaches, my opponent's corner, and I know what's going on between him and I. Yeah, I don't hear the crowd. You know, they're like, "Hey, they're booing you. Didn't you hear that?" I'm like, "No, I didn't hear that."
Not at all, man. I'm not even worried about the crowd.
Yeah, I ain't. You know, I'm not concerned about that.
Booing you. It's like, hey, boo, I hate that guy. He has better hair. So yeah, man. So do you plan on fighting with them again, or have they called you back, or is it one of those things where you've been up there, guy, and they don't want to see you?
The promoter, he liked what I brought to the table, so he is looking to have me come back out there.
Okay, good.
So the plan is to go back out there. I'll be fighting in town soon. We don't have it set yet, but we'll be with Fury.
So okay, good, man.
We're gonna go back. We're gonna go fight with Fury, and then after this fight, we'll see about getting another fight with Pete. But he does want me back over there.
Okay, nice, man.
Yeah.
And then so when are you gonna turn pro, or when are you looking to turn pro? What's the
so the plan is, man, 2022, sometime in 2022, to make a debut. We want to get a couple more fights before then. Of course, the title fight would be great, at amateur level, just to have that experience.
It's always good to put on your resume.
Yeah, and I mean, from when Coach Ernest was talking about it, that the promoter from Peak is interested in actually giving me a title shot.
Yeah.
So
now, do they have a champion at 125?
They do.
They do.
Okay. And he's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Knock his ass out. You want to call him out? You call him out right now?
It'll be great. It'll be a great fight with him. But ultimately, man, that's the plan. Try to get a fight, a couple more fights, and then go pro, man, 2022.
Good,
and hopefully get a title shot and get that opportunity.
Dude, nice, man. And then, of course, man, one of the things I want to talk about, too, you had Dan Hooker and Leon Edwards in the gym with you.
Yeah, man.
Dude, how was that?
That's a blessing, man.
Yeah. Talk to me about that.
To see two real high-level guys that freaking, Leon is, like, one of the best welterweights in the world right now as we speak, man. I mean, he's should have gotten a title shot a long time ago, but you know how it is. It's a business.
It's a business, man.
He's a real humble dude. He's not really like a shit talker or a showman.
Yeah.
But he's a great freaking fighter, man. He's so talented. Being in that environment, and Dan Hooker too. Dan Hooker, man, he's that guy's a legend in his own.
Yeah. And he's moving down to 145, man.
That's why.
So can you see him moving down? Yeah.
He's a big dude, man.
He's like the one that Chandler knocked out, right?
Chandler, yeah.
Yeah, he's huge, bro.
Yeah.
Making 145.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he said he just did a practice cut and he was successful at it.
It might work out for him. Look like Barboza. I mean, Barboza's killing it at 45.
Yeah.
So, but training with both of those guys was a great experience, man. Just Leon, I mean, hearing his background, kind of similar to mine, man. Had a rough, beginning, and he could have went one way and he went the other way, and it ultimately just came down to him just not stopping, man. He just kept training, and he did go to a mega gym at one time. He went to I think it was not Top Team, the one in California, kickboxing, AKA. He went to AKA, and then he lost to Usman, and then he was like, "What am I doing, man?" So I need to go back home. He went back to the UK to a small gym, and he's been on a win streak ever since.
Yeah. And again, we've talked about it before, man, just getting that one-on-one attention with the fighter. And,
and it made me feel like I was doing something right. He's like, you guys got this small gym. He's like, y'all got this small gym. Y'all got a great coach that pays attention to everybody. And, you don't got to be at a mega gym to be successful. Yeah. Everybody thinks that.
Yeah, everybody thinks that. It's good for customers. It's good for guys coming in. But, I look at I mean, I don't know how I consider them a smaller gym, but it would be like even like Pete Spratt's guys. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not. I mean, there's a lot of good fighters in there, but I mean, you don't see 30, 40 guys.
Right.
And then I came from a gym where we had like 20 something fighters. You know, and again, you're just training every week. If somebody has a fight coming up, and it's like, hey, coach, I need time too, and it just doesn't happen that way. Man. Even with the Ivies that we had on, or Dimitri that we had on Tuesday. Same thing. It's like, man, it's we kind of had to split our time up with our coach, but it's my turn, Anthony's turn, then the amateurs, and then we just kind of continue rotating. So being in a small gym seems like a good move, man.
And what's great is seeing these two high level guys to be where they're at. They don't do really much anything different on their drills. They just perfect it. And it's like a punch is a punch, a kick's a kick. You just gotta perfect it. Perfect your craft. And like seeing them hit pads, seeing them work. I'm like, they do what we do. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool just to know that.
No, it's always cool, man. Like I said, a lot of people, man, they'll get to the top of the sport, and then all of a sudden they want to change what got them there. And I'm like, why? Don't change what got you, man. And so that's pretty cool, man. Did they leave you with any information, any advice, any tips or anything?
I mean,
that you can share with me?
Yeah, Leon. I mean, basically told me, hey, you know what, man, he told me that he sees potential in me, which was pretty cool. Telling me that he sees potential in me and that just goes, stay focused. Don't get distracted. Because that's what happens. You get distracted and then you're done, son.
Do you still keep in contact with him, or do you like every now and again, like maybe like a post or something?
Yeah, every now and then, on Instagram, but he's a busy guy, so
a little bit.
But no, I mean, for sure. I mean, but I got another group of friends, man, that are doing really well for themselves too in California. I got Johnny Munoz. He's oh man, sorry, this hair's bothering me.
Why you see, y'all guys can't see this man, but he's throwing his hair. He's just shedding all over the place, man.
Johnny Munoz, he just made his UFC debut recently and won.
Okay, nice, man.
And he trains at a gym called Sequence in California. Jason Conine.
Okay, yeah.
Is his wrestling coach.
Ah, okay, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
Him and his cousin Alan. So those guys are, they're up there, man, too. But the thing is they do the same thing we do, man. And their advice is the same stuff. Like just as Leon, hey man, stay focused, just stay disciplined, and you'll get there. You just gotta keep doing it, and just keep drilling and getting more solid. And just not getting distracted. I hear that a lot. The distractions.
Man, it happened all the time. It happened with me. Even growing, up through the sport, it was just like, it's real easy to, because everything's just around the corner. And then of course, if you're doing good, hey man, everybody, hey, you want to do this? You want to do that? All right, cool, let's go, and we're off to the races. But,
man. But the greatest thing though about that experience with Leon Edwards and Hooker was, I got to meet Eugene Behrman, which he runs city kickboxing in Auckland, like Adesanya, and he's like their coaches. I talked to him for a little bit. Actually, Coach got more into detail with him, got more into depth with him. But just the fact is that us at Southside, being on the same sheet of music is one big thing that he was telling me. You guys got to be on the same, sheet of music, the same mindset to push each other. That's the only way you guys will grow.
So you have that one direction that's going through.
Exactly.
That's great, man.
Instead of, everybody having like fucking egos and, just, pushing everyone to the side, like, especially the guys that are trying, that are not there yet, helping everybody evolve. And I believe in that we have that going on right now at our gym.
Good, man. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And then now with Mr. Cabral, man. First thing I want to ask you, your nickname.
The Metro Warrior?
Metro Warrior.
That's solid, man.
Hey. How did that even come up with that, Rangel? Because now, if it came from Rangel, man, I mean, Mario's always told me that he doesn't have a personality. He's kind of all right.
Yeah, man, like feel good, look good, do good, right?
Yeah.
He gave me my nickname like a long time ago. So Mike Rangel was my first MMA coach. My best friend. We're still cool. We're still
I've seen y'all taking pictures everywhere.
Yeah, we're always hanging out.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, he gave me that just because, maybe I like to, maybe I'm vain or I like to dress good or make sure my hair is always, dapper.
See, there's that ego you're talking about earlier. And I'm looking at both of you right now. I'm like, okay, I get it. You guys, you're probably wearing the same size pants right now. But I gotta admit, man, Jose, you do have the better hair.
For now,
yeah.
Hopefully, I'll hold on to it as long as I can.
We'll see. But yeah, so the Metro Warrior, man. So what was your record? What did it come out to finally be in? What was it, man?
Well,
all together, because whether it's amateur or pro, all together.
Yeah.
What did you get?
I went 4-0 as an amateur, and in my last amateur fight, I got hit in the eyeball real hard, and I couldn't see out of my right eye, and I had to go to the hospital and shit afterwards. And I was like, F this. I was like, I don't think I ever want to do this again.
For free.
If I did for free.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, let's go pro.
Yeah.
And then, I'll be honest about my pro career. It definitely ups and downs for sure. Downs for sure, man.
Downs for sure, yeah.
My record ain't too hot, but I fought some real tough guys in the sport, at the time in like the Texas area.
Yeah.
But I just didn't quit, man, and still like training, and then I linked up with Brandon, a couple years ago, and it just kind of like training part-time with them. Now I'm like full-time. Now I'm like coaching and then looking for another fight and competing again too. So
are you
good? Yeah.
Okay, nice, man. Well, going back to your record, and this is something that a lot of guys don't understand too. Is like, they'll look at records. We talked about padded records before, where the guy's like 10-2, and he's the hardest guy he fought was like 5-6 or something, and then of course you're looking at, because even mine wasn't, as a pro, wasn't good, but I fought Derek Campos, I fought Dustin Poirier, I made my pro debut against Edwin Figueroa, who was at the time 3-1, like, so it was like, okay, I fought some pretty good guys, so it's nothing to be ashamed of, man, but it's like you casual fans don't understand what you guys went through, and even during our time, because when you were coming in, I was pretty much on my way out, but
yeah, I remember seeing you fight a few times.
Yeah, what'd you think about that, man? No, because we would have been. Oh, because you fought 55 too, yeah.
I fought at 55 and I fought at 45.
Yeah. So I was 55, man. Right. So were you coming for me or what?
Maybe, I don't
But
know.
yeah.
I know our gyms were, because Powerhouse, right?
Yeah, Powerhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, what was it? This was probably about 10 years ago. About 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Powerhouse and No Pain were, at the time, we're the best gyms in San Antonio, hands down. And really, there was no other MMA gyms.
Yeah, it was a shallow pool,
Yeah, so, I think there was, I was supposed to fight one of y'all's teammates at one time, and it didn't come. I think I got injured or something.
There were so many times, where stuff like that happened. But and then I remember a couple of guys were like, well, how come you don't fight this guy? I was like, well, I'm trying to. I was like, but no, it wasn't you, but it was like some other guys. I'm like, well, I'm trying to. I said, but nobody wants to fight.
Yeah.
So.
And that, because Coach Ernest, another Powerhouse guys, I think it's so funny is because we were, gyms that would fight against each other, or rival gyms, you could say.
Yeah.
But when I went and started training with Coach Ernest and everything, man, I fit right in. I was like, oh, this is like, training with Mike and No Pain days. I was like, this is great. I like this environment. I fit in like a glove, man.
It's always hard nosed. Even it's hot in there.
Yeah.
That
part I wouldn't mind a little bit of AC now,
bro. You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that from Coach Ernest. But that was something that we even did. Back at Powerhouse, we didn't have any AC or nothing like that. So
same here. No Pain.
So of course I'm sure. Mike wasn't the easiest on y'all guys as well. So, but cool, man. So, but talk to me about that transition from fighter to coach now. How's that going for you?
Coach Ernest just kind of pull me aside and just kind of talk to me. Like, I want you to help out the guys and teach them, some things, and teach a couple classes here and there. Mm-hmm. And I always kind of been like hesitant to go in that, even be labeled as a coach, because like my theory is like once you start going in that route, it's kind of like you're not the great, like as good as a competitor or fighter or even practitioner anymore, because you kind of rest on that, I guess you could say. But I'm still grinding, I'm still training. Like I'm everything that the guys do, I do.
You're doing
I'm doing it too. And then and I help out, I share. I have a lot of experience regardless of whatever my record is. I've been training going on 15 years, man. I know a few things, you know,
Yeah.
that I don't mind sharing.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing about it, man. When you have a lot of experience like that, because you've also cross trained at a lot of places.
Yeah,
so
I've trained at a lot of gyms.
Yeah, man. So I mean, are you still doing that, or is it like how does that work now? I mean, as a coach,
like right now I've been so busy. I'm also getting ready for a half marathon and training at Southside, like Monday through Friday basically.
Half marathon? Why?
He wants new knees. That's why.
I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, man, I'll go and hop in some. Like I went and trained with what's his name, Fernando.
Okay, yeah.
Midian. I went and cross trained with them. Like
nice.
First time, another guy that I've known of forever. Finally talked to him in person. Nice dude. Yeah. Like nicest dude ever. Like, invited me to come back. I'll go train with every once in a while. 10th Planet. I'll go do the open mats over there. So
which is where Fernando will also be too.
Yeah,
he'll drop in there.
I ain't trying to get no knee replacements.
with all the leg lines and stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, every once in a while I'll go over there, but that's about it. Yeah.
Now, so one thing, are you surprised at how many guys of us, like we used to be, so myself, Fernando, and you have Bobby over at Ambush, and then you have Yarrington at Ohio. Yeah. Like, I mean, for me, I had all my old ex-teammates kind of in every single gym. So, like, are you running like, oh, shit, you're at Powerhouse too?
Yeah. I mean, it just shows that, I mean, y'all had a good group of guys. Yeah. We're trying to learn this every day. Yeah. It's like, man, it's free,
keeping him on his toes.
Yeah, good group.
Have you tapped out Ernest yet? Or you don't want to say? All right, we'll edit that out.
We don't want to talk about it. I haven't.
And he's gonna make sure you don't.
Yeah, I haven't.
And
he's tapped me out a few times. He's real solid.
Yeah, no, he would. I mean, we would roll and stuff like that. And he was just like, "All right, you ready for it?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "No, let me roll some more." Yeah. And then of course, man. Of course, you have the fastest KO in Texas, man. What was that like? So I talked to Dimitri, and he told me what it was on his side and how he felt. So now I have the guy on the other side.
It was awesome, man. Actually, it was. I wish it wouldn't happen like that, to be honest.
Really?
And I'll explain why in a second. But yeah, obviously, I thought I was going to be like the next thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that got to my head. I ain't gonna lie. It got to my head. I thought I was just going to go in there and start knocking everybody out. Mm-hmm. Still was training hard and still fought, but then it's like, man, like my I thought, I got a little cocky, ain't gonna lie. I was, kind of neglected some other things, but then I started partying too much, and then I went on like a few fight losing streak after that, and I was like, man, I gotta. It is what it is. I honestly wish that didn't happen. I wish I would have just had a tough fight, and maybe my fight career would have been different.
A little bit different, yeah. No, that can really make a play.
Yeah. So
how you look at things.
And to talk about Ivy, he has a more successful MMA career than me. And, I don't mind saying that because it is what it is. He went and fought in Bellator, I believe, and some other places.
He's done a few things, man. And one thing he didn't mention too was that he was actually part of the USA or the kickboxing team for a little bit. They went down to Mexico, so
cool. He's cool. Definitely. I mean, I see him, here and there. I think he just fought recently too. Yeah. I don't know what the outcome was at, but
he won.
Oh, good. That's good for him. So, but yeah, I mean, maybe that maybe getting knocked out worked for helped him, but I mean, if we're comparing our fight careers, he has a better one than mine.
No, hey,
even though I got one up on him,
but that's no. But again, it's cool to have like under your belt a little bit. Hey man, I got this, but you wish you probably would have had a little bit more to that resume.
Yeah, but you can cry about the past, but now I'm just trying to like hone my skills in and get better and be a better not only like practitioner but coach as well and help the guys out, and they're helping me out too, man.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I know the guys at Southside, man, so I know they're always grinding and pushing each other. So now that you had that experience with the fastest KO and stuff, and then of course he's knocking people out, is there any advice that you're looking to like give him, like, hey man, look, keep your head straight, or did you have to even tell him anything, or is it?
Nah, man. Like I said earlier, like he don't, he's got his head on straight. That was one of the things that kind of motivated me because, I would when he was a cop, I would see him, basically pull double shift and go train. I was like, damn, You know,
that's pretty badass.
I was like, okay, that's pretty good. I was like, let me get in here more too, man.
Yeah.
You know, I had back surgery in May.
Oh, nice. I didn't even know.
And I was like, I was at the point where I couldn't even work out anymore. I was like, done. No more working out. And then like after that, like a fire got set under my ass. I was like, dude, I'm gonna start competing again. I'm gonna start doing all this bullshit, you know, running marathons, and you know, I was like,
okay, so that's why you're doing the marathon.
Yeah, that's what that, and you know, trying to lose some weight and everything too, and potential fight in February. So we're gonna see, you know, how things go, and then competing in Naga.
Yeah,
won that. That was cool.
Yeah.
You know,
you're gonna compete again? I mean, obviously, you gotta be pro now, right?
Yeah. So I haven't fought in like 3-4 years. But yeah, I honestly feel like I'm getting better, dude. Like me and Coach Ernest talked about it. Yeah, ever since I've stepped in there, I'm improving. Like I feel like I'm improved leaps and bounds, man.
Yeah, nice. Do you have anybody in mind, or what weight class are you planning on fighting?
Everything's up in the air right now. It could be 55, could be 50. So
you just know you're gonna get ready. So where are you walking around at right now?
I'm at 178.
So that's not bad. Yeah, you drop the 8 and then kind of hover at 70, right?
Yeah.
You know, for 55. So cool, man. You know, so with that, you got that coming up, man. One of the things I also want to, so you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not your typical black belt. It's kind of like, I mean, talk to me. Yeah. Walk me through the whole process, man.
So, again, Mike Rangel gave me my black belt, I think it was like a couple of years ago.
Okay.
You know, I was training with them and went to a different gym. Nothing, me and him didn't have a falling out or anything like that. It's just, you know, Ernest's gym is more MMA focused, and where he's at now, it's kind of karate and jiu-jitsu. So, you know, training with Ernest now, but yeah, I mean, he gave me my black belt. I train in the gi. I don't really compete in the gi. I compete in no gi. I prefer that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, there's a wide range level of black belt. There's, you know, the black belts competing like every weekend. That's like, you know, making a bunch of money, like you know, off of jiu-jitsu sponsors, and then there's you know, like the MMA black belt, and that's kind of wrong. The MMA black belt, nothing out of the way.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say, the guy that comes to mind was Thiago, out of Pizza Gym, or you know, Rodrigo's gym, where he's just competing. Him and his wife, they're just you know, every weekend they're in Dubai or something, and I'm so like, damn,
that's awesome.
Good for them.
Good for them. Hey, if you can make a career of it, great. You know, I fighting is not a career for me, unfortunately. I have a day job, so it's
which most fighters, you guys just keep your job. Don't go nothing unless you get some big time sponsors, man. So you say you're like an MMA black belt, and that was one of the things too. Is like, I mean, you're not traditionally always in the gi. Mm-hmm. You want to be in no gi. Did you ever get ranked, like, I guess, through the gi, or is it just kind of
so even like when Mike had his gym a few years ago, you know, was training gi there, was training gi at you know, the place where he's at now. With Ernest, for sure we train on the gi. More than what I like to, honestly. I always have to hit him on like, hey, let's have a no gi day today.
He's just looking at you like, no.
Yeah, basically.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but I mean, it's both are good. Both are, to me, they're different, man. No gi and gi is different. And jiu-jitsu for sport jiu-jitsu, and then jiu-jitsu for MMA, completely different things, man. Yeah, so I mean, you can compare them, but you know, it is what it is. You know?
Yeah, it's all right.
And really, like, if you're getting the better of other black belts you train with, and you're tapping them out, doesn't that make you black belt? You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah, no, and that was another thing too, is because you know, I've always heard, you know, black belts, you know, they need to go and compete. They, you know, need to do this because they need to have like this little like hierarchy of like, well, you know, I'm a black belt, so I need to go perform, so that way my students can see it. Yeah. And you know, it's like, if you don't, you know, then you're kind of looked at differently. Yeah. And then of course, you know, what you traditionally doing mostly no gi, and then getting your black belt, and you know, it's just like, well, you just won Naga, right? So you get like the belt, and you get the
that was cool.
Did you get a sword or no? Or is that something different?
No, I wanted to trade one of the kids. It's so random. I don't understand. I was like, you're giving the kids swords? The adults belts? I was like, sure, let's give the kids weapons.
It was the promoter didn't get a belt when he was younger, so he was like,
but the whole black belt thing, man. I mean, there's black belts in different aspects. There's, competitive, you know, gi black belts, and then there's black belts that are just coaches. Yeah, you know what I mean. But having a black belt mean, to me, it ultimately comes down to your time, you know, and what you can bring, you know, to the table.
Yeah, it could be just a mentality. It could be the you know, the way you kind of hold yourself, carry yourself. I mean, there's a lot to it that comes with the belt.
You know, because honestly, like these guys that compete in just gi and they're black belts, I'm like, all right, let's fight. I mean, now what? You know what I mean? It's just, you know, so like, people talk shit. They're like, oh man, you know, he's not a real black belt or whatever. Yeah. Well, how about we fight instead? You know, no gi, no nothing. Let's just throw on some gloves, man, and we'll see how much of a black belt you really are. Then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's one thing I enjoyed about fighting, and just the aspect of it is like, it's kind of like the end all say all of anything, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know, you're not going to get beat up and be like, hey, well, let's go play basketball.
You know,
that's kind of like my philosophy about it. Is, I mean, you know, martial arts is to defend yourself. You want to defend yourself, to, you know, protect yourself against other people, you know, like beat someone up basically. Yeah. But I was like, okay, great. You can do like these fancy, you know, rolls in jiu-jitsu, but like if I go like kick you in the face, like, that's not gonna work.
Now what, right?
But you know, I do love the philosophy about jiu-jitsu. Yeah. You know what it means to you and what it does, you know, for you personally. You know, and I love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, because it with jiu-jitsu and with training in general, it constantly puts you in a position that sucks.
Yeah, of course.
And then you got to, all right, we're done with practice. Okay, I'm going to come back tomorrow to get put in more sucky positions and get beat up, and just the mental toughness that
yeah, I mean, because it helped me, and it helps me in my everyday life. I'm used to being in uncomfortable positions and being okay. Same thing in my professional, you know, career. I'm in an uncomfortable position. Instead of breaking down and being overwhelmed and just fucking throw my hands in the air and, you know, quitting, I'm like, dude, this ain't nothing to me, bro. I'm in the gym fucking being a pretzel, you know what I'm saying? And I'm comfortable, you know? Yeah, it's all right, man.
No, definitely, man. So, guys, I want to start kind of closing this up, man. It's been great having you guys.
I appreciate it.
Jose, do you have any advice for young fighters, man?
Yes.
What you got?
A lot. One, I think... you know, yes, show up to practice as much as you don't want to. Like, some of the best training days I have are the days where I'm like, man, like, I'll think about turning around and going back home, and I'll still go to the gym, and I was like, damn, I'm glad I showed up. You know, I had a great session. You know what I mean? Yeah. And two, I think a lot of it is what you do outside of practice, like who you get involved with, and I just generalize this towards men because there's typically men that train MMA and jiu-jitsu. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. But like, getting mixed up with the wrong woman will mess your stuff.
I've seen it too many times, man. Myself
personally, it happened to me. You know, so don't do that. Just be focused in the gym, and if you're really about it, you know what I mean. Yeah. And just be real with yourself. If you're looking just to do it, you know, 2 days, 3 days a week, there ain't nothing wrong with that. You just want to be a hobbyist. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But it's one of those things you can't be, if you're looking to actually compete, especially in MMA, and try to like make something of yourself. You have to be in all the way or not do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
you'll get hurt.
Definitely don't half-ass it.
You can't play. You can't play fighting.
No, you really can't. And then again, you know, same question towards you, Brandon. What you got, man?
You know, if you have an ambition, you have a goal, you know, fighting or whatever it is in a professional field, you know, it just comes down to work ethic. Yeah. That's all this is work ethic, man. I'm not the most talented guy. I'm not like athletically, genetically gifted like some guys are. You know what? But I know that with my work, I can outwork somebody. Yeah. You know, I know that for a fact. So, you know what? If you feel that you're not good enough, hey, dude, just show up, just put in work, and keep working. Because if your work ethic is above the other person, you're going to succeed. Yeah. And that's all this comes down to. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to, you know, be fat and lazy sometimes. Oh, yeah. You know, I enjoy that, too, when I can. Look at me, bro. You know, I like to enjoy that when I can, but you know what? When you go to the gym, it feels like you achieved something. You feel like you grew a little bit. You feel like you get better. You feel healthier. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, just becoming a better human being overall. And that's why I do martial arts, and that's why I fight, and that's why I recommend it to other people that just want to better themselves.
Good, man. No, guys, very well put, you know, piece of advice, man, for any young fighter coming up. even guys, trying to get back into it, man. Guys, I'm gonna leave you guys with my final comment, which I had one originally, but I'm gonna change it up because of the inspiration I got from these two guys, man. Guys, when it comes around to, don't ever think that you're that far down or that far gone from being a better person. Getting into martial arts, getting into music, getting into something, right? Find yourself and use those things as avenues to kind of really start turning your life around, man. No one's ever really done, no one's a complete bad person, right? So being able to use martial arts as these guys have to turn themselves around and become better, mentor young kids, helping out their community and standing up for what they believe in, man, is really awesome. So my advice to you guys out there is get into something that's going to make you happy, and then from that, man, start spreading it out for everybody else to see and hear. All right, guys, that's all I got, man. This is Aaron Suarez with the Fight Card Podcast. Guys, go check out Brandon and Jose Cabral over at Southside Fight Club. Guys, again, appreciate your time.
Thank you guys for having us.
Hey, no problem, man. And as always, man, get on our YouTube page, click, subscribe, do all the fun things, and for sure, man, follow up.